Hello everyone, hello and welcome to the Imperium Cup for Dune Imperium with the Rise of Ix expansion. I am the Black Shadow, your host of this tournament, a 10-week tourney featuring over 100 players across the globe with a $400 prize pool. We are into week 2 action. This is from Group F. And this one has already provided some absolute classic matches already. Groups H, Group C, the mammoth 2.5 hour game that went up only a few days or so ago. And I'm hoping for more fun at times here. We are ready to crack on this. Reminder, of course, that we are in the group stages still. So there's 5 points on offer for the winner, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, and a point for whoever comes in last. And 4 games for everyone who plays, so plenty to fight for. So let's get to work here. Our Imperium row is a bit of a funky one. This is a little unusual. Some kind of unusual, tricky cards to use. Desert Ambush, for example, is very nice, but difficult. The Seats River Mother is going to be hotly contested. Someone, I suspect, will be trying to early declare for this. Benja's Successor is pretty strong. Local Fence is a nice card for like the mid to late game, and the 2 Persuasion is always good. And the Assassination Mission, someone will try and pick up to do some trashing. Wouldn't be surprised to see an ECANS get picked here, so someone could take hold of that. And then we've got our text. We've got Wind Traps, which is pretty decent at the start. Troop Transports are incredibly powerful early to mid-game. And then Detonation Devices, someone fancies they're going to get themselves into some fun and games over there. We shall indeed see. Alright, folks, so it's get ourselves some counter choices. So, Timur choosing first, going with the solid Count Ilban. Getting the money is always pretty damn nice. Maybe having an eye up of Local Fence, looking to use the ring to pay for some extra spice. Ekaz comes in, surely looking to grab hold of Assassination Ring mission with the ring. Hundro Moritani up for second player, who's not the most common pick in the world. His start of the game, he gets to pick 2 entry cards, and he gets to choose one and drop the other. Keeps the Master Tactician. Declines against Bypass Protocol, so we'll turn that down. It's kind of, I mean, both are decent, but perhaps lining up some ready combat. And then Duke Leto is going to be opening up from position 1 here, which is, I mean, Leto is strong from any position. It doesn't, you don't have to be later on to make special use of the ring, but don't always see that there. So we'll kind of see where we go. But yeah, very interesting player 2 choice. Always the one that kind of makes a big difference in regards to how the game wants to work. And, you know, generally a big driver of the game is the person in position 2. So we'll see if that was the right choice or not. All right, first combat is coming up. And it will be the skirmish, the money skirmish. This will be hotly contested, and probably Doom here very glad to have taken Master Tactician. That is an enormous first combat here. Oh my goodness gracious me. So it's always fun because sometimes some people are willing to sacrifice the bump and will try and aim for second just to get the extra Solari to pick up the Swordmaster. To be honest, all 3 positions are pretty decent, so we'll see how things go here. But yeah, this is going to be very, very aggressive. I suspect opening up here. This should be a good match. It will be OMANT to open up proceedings here. So as always, GLHFs to all. And we'll see what everyone draws here. Hundro pulls Diplomacy in his Signet Ring. Good hand for Ekaz. Picks his Signet Ring. Double Diplomacy. Wow. Double Diplomacy for Ilban and both convincing arguments. That's a very nice opening hand to have in 4th position here. That is super good. You don't really need your daggers so much in 4th position. You've already got back into the turn. And in fact, look, this Leader also pulls a super hand here. This is really, really nice. Only 1 dagger amongst them all, which is kind of crazy. So we'll get ourselves off to the races here. Leto will open up with a trip to Fold Space, as you'll see more often than not. Hundro will be up next. So Hundro, of course, will want to use his Signet Ring somewhere, so he can pick up the trip, get the bump on the shipping here. I wouldn't be the most outrageous play to see Hundro actually go smuggling and then use his Signet Ring to pay for like the money and get 2 troops in, and he might well get turn 2 Swordmaster here. You get a Solari for smuggling. You'd get 5 for cashing it in. And then hopefully 2 Solari. You just get any position on the skirmish. And you've got instant turn 2 Swordmaster. Decides to go via this route instead, which I think is also fine. I guess the idea is you can just... although this isn't actually not that good. Hundro has he's got all of his smuggling cards in hand here. He will, unless he gets a redraw on his card somehow, he will not be able to revisit. So maybe the plan is he's going Mentat? It seems kind of strange. I don't see why you'd want to do that. So, but I think that's a bit, perhaps a little early trickness there. I think that could have been cool to see. Smuggle, go like Hagar Basin, use the spice to take the cash immediately, and then turn 2, you just instant Swordmaster. That would have been huge, but maybe a different plan here. Ekaz is going to go to Steel Suits, which is always very strong in this combat here, going Steel Suits, because of course you can try and hostage the flat. And for that matter, like, as long as you get any position on the skirmish track, you're pretty happy. Only puts in the 1 troop, though. I think that's a little risky. I think you can expect pretty much everyone is going to get involved here. So you've kind of got to put both troops out, realistically, to kind of make a stand here. But I don't know, you can go both ways. You still got both garrison troops. You suspect you're probably going to have to go to a city or maybe mining beforehand, before everything is through. We'll see. Ilban is going to go Hardy Warriors instead. Ilban wants he wants the bump. He will get stuck in here, surely. And he'll throw... Will he throw in all 4? I think he kind of has to, because his hand's really weird. He doesn't have access to any cities. So you're probably obligated to get stuck in here, being honest. So I think that's fairly okay. Just get this out of the way here, folks. My apologies. So back up to Leo. Leo want to use his ring to make obviously start getting catch up here. So he'll have to go to the Imperial base and the Hagar Basin in order to do so, and it also gets him some troops in. Depends how much he wants to win. He could also go Carthag and gamble on the intrigue here, but I suspect this will be a trip to probably Imperial Basin. I think Leto will want to save his water, I would suspect. Or is he just going to go straight smuggling? Wow. Now, this is interesting. This is a bit of a block against Hundro, kind of. Interesting that he decides to go full space and then straight smuggling, not even getting involved in this combat. That is curious. Little risky. Like, you are asking to basically kind of get blocked out a bit here. And you don't know what anyone else has got. Like, you know, Ilban, I mean, everyone's gone and played 1 diplomacy card. Ilban, as it turns out, does have both here. So this is a little interesting to see how this is going to work here. Hundro will go to one of the basins, surely. Well, so what shows what I know. No, he's going to go... he wants to win the combat here. Picks up the bypass protocol, which he discarded earlier, by the way. Oh, and he puts in the 1 troop. Well, I mean, he could fight for that if he wanted. He could put in 3 troops. There's no way Ilban would have put in more than 4 troops. It's kind of like, you just don't on the beginning skirmish. You don't really ever put in more than 4 troops. It's not quite an unwritten rule, don't get me wrong. But, like, it's still definitely, like, it's not worth it unless you're just on pure sound denial. So... we'll see what the plan is here going on. Maybe he's just going to try and secure second with the swords? I don't know, it's just a little weird. I guess that's the reckoning. He's just going to use Master Tactician to make sure he gets second. Or maybe he's happy with third. I have no idea. Very, very curious choices here. Ekaz is next. Ekaz will use the ring. I would imagine he probably wants to get hold of Assassination Mission, because it's basically 5 Solari whenever you reveal and trash it from your hand, and that's going to be incredibly strong here. So I imagine this is probably the better pickup here. Local Fence, of course, is good. No one has only revealed, however, which is very interesting. Will Ilban be tempted? Yeah, 6 reveal. You could go Siege Reverend Mother and, like, a Liaison. That sounds really good. Siege Reverend Mother, like, I would have thought someone would be... But everyone's drawn such good hands is the issue here as well. Arakeen for Ekaz. Draws his Seek Allies. That's unlucky. That's very unfortunate. Like, that's just bad times. You never want to draw that. Goes for the sister. Okay, that's also fine. Satellite Ban is the new card. A huge card here. Will that tempt Ilban into an early reveal? You never like to when you've got, like, your diplomacy on hand. And that's always awkward. Like, you kind of want to use them all here. But you already got access to his secrets. I honestly think an early reveal here is probably maybe your best play. You're going to win the combat. So all you're going to do is go to secrets, or you're going to, like, Imperial base and then go get, like, a spice. I actually think, I think I probably early reveal here. I don't know. It's either that or a bump up the Jester and you go secrets. I think this is turn 1. I think the Imperium row is a better call here. You get first pick of cards. There are some really nice cards here. And just, like, the Siege Reverend Mother and Liaison just sounds so good. But he will go for secrets and take the bump here. You kind of want to get a decent intrigue to kind of make it feel worth it. Because a lot of these cards are not going to be here. Picks up Double Cross. This is a very good card. Being able to cost a troop out of a combat to put in one of your own. Only for 1 Solari, which, of course, Ilban is money man. He will be able to pay for that fairly easily. So OMANT gets first pick here. And just like, I mean, there's so many choices here. What do you go for? Like, Siege Fremen is just staring you there in the face. Like, that Fremen bond just looks so good. And there's no shortage of liaisons. But Satellite Band is one of my favorite cards in the game. It is an unbelievably powerful way to just run your economy and just go straight to, like, you can go mining and highliners. You can go to absolute war with Satellite Band. Does go with Reverend Mother, though, so he will be surely basing his cards around the Fremen deck here. 4 to pick up for Hundro. And again, plenty of decent choices here. Local Fence sounds really good for him, as he was doing a lot of shipping to transfer his spice across. I would probably be going with that. Desert Ambush is always a nice card, but it's difficult to get use out of properly. Just goes with Liaison. Wow, that is fascinating. A sword for Sychry and a couple of intrigue for him. I would imagine he'll be picking up a Liaison more often than not. But we might still go assassination missions. It's still sitting there. Doesn't decide to do so either. Assassination just seems such a great pick for Ekaz early because you can pretty much control when you trash it. 5 for Ilban here. Surely Satellite Ban. I've got to be right about one of these picks, right? Although Local Fence is also very tempting. Both are very good choices. But there's just the pure resource of Satellite Ban. It's just so good. I don't know. I wouldn't blame either choice here. I think they're both are solid. Local Fence and, like, Liaison or Satellite Ban does go for the ban. Charney, our next contestant here on the Imperium row. Very good. Alright, that is going to be combat here. So I don't... well, Hundra will not be playing Master Tactics here. So Ilban will take the 2 coins in the bump. I imagine this will probably be with the Spacing Guild. Free cash for Ekaz and a couple points. Couple of bucks for Hundro. And that is going to be all she said for this one. We'll move on to our next turn. Makers, of course, are made. There is the bump on the Spacing Guild as expected. That's bad news for OMANT here as well. You never want your player on your right to be picking up points with the Spacing Guild. That's never fun when you're trying to go for it as well, because that will severely limit you. Right, so it's second turn. So there's going to be a ton of daggers in this one here. So this could be a bit of a race for Mentat, and I would be tempted to see who's going to do what here. Ekaz, the only person with any kind of redraw, picks up Dune, which is not great. So everyone's kind of got yucky-ish hands. Of course, everyone used a lot of their diplomacy here. So Hundra, I suspect, should go Spacing Guild. Otherwise, Lido's just going to say, thank you very much. So you almost, even if you don't intend to do a lot of shipping here, you probably should do. Guild Bank rate is up, so even more money available here for battle. So there's going to be Swordmasters coming thick and fast here. So that'll be fascinating. It's just that Ilban had a little look to see what Hundro discarded there in his hand to see what, try and work out what he has, which is interesting. Happens a little bit. Ikaz will be up next. Ikaz did not have the opportunity to trash last time because he went to the steel suits. So I think you want to be probably picking up, like, you've got a rubbish sort of hand. I would not blame you for going Mentat here. You don't have to, but it feels pretty nice. Guild Bank Raid also good. Like, you could go Carfag, or you could go Smuggling. You might even go for the Spice here. Maybe go Hagger Basin or something. Pick up the free Spice. Smuggling's also fine. Ikaz trying to get up to the cash as possible. Obviously, he has eyes on next turn of just cashing in and taking the Swordmaster. Must be the plan here for Ikaz. That might yet be thwarted if Leo can find a way to somehow shit, but I don't see how it's going to happen. Arakeen for the Count. So we'll get a troop, we'll get the reset of his deck, and a Solari for the ring, and picks up Satellite Ban. Wow. That feels nice to just bang off your drawn card there immediately. That always feels pretty nice. And you've got such a perfect hand to do your discard with. You just go Steel Suits, you put in your 2 troops. If you haven't already put them in, you take the water, you discard like a dagger, and you just take like double water straight away, and you're threatening like Hagger Basin or Great Fire even. That feels really good. Lito is going to have to go mining here. He'll go Hagger Basin, I would imagine. Might keep the water, which he does decide to do so. So he'll take the couple of spice, put in some troops. Obviously, the money will be very, very tempting for a lot of players here. Hundro up next. Hundro does have access to Carfag. It's surely his next play. What else do you do here? I don't see what else you do. Everyone's seeing that everyone else has got a ton of daggers. So Hundro will probably be relying on Master Tactician if he needs it. But this feels pretty good to get here. Third intrigue for him. Picks up Diversion. Not the strongest card in the game because it's a bit awkward to use. Especially because you basically have to go either Hardy Warriors or Highliners, or you need a tech like training drones to use with some garrison troops. But, you know, the extra bump is nice if you can time it well and get some additional resources in from your shipping track. So we'll see how he goes there. So I'll take him up to an effective 8 strength. Lido will have the opportunity to riposte and possibly even take it down if he wants to go Hardy Warriors, which is not the most outrageous choice. Ikaz up next. Ikaz needs to do something here just to make sure he can get his trash effect here. I think even going to like tech negotiation, picking up the intrigue, that puts you to 6 persuasion, which is pretty nice. There are, you know, worlds where people early declare, or maybe Hundro will obviously go before you for revealing, and there's some nice 6 strength cards, you know. You've got Gurney, you've got the likes of like Pyder, you know, there is Gildercord, I think is 6, if memory serves. Gonna go Mentat instead here. Take the extra draw. Picks up the Liaison. Wow. Well, it has 7 to buy with now. So that adds into like Shai Halud. You've got like Lady Jessica. So, and this is not the worst strategy sometimes. It's a bit risky early game. But just having a high persuasion deck before everyone else like starts hopefully revealing in front of you, sometimes they just give you a really good card. Ilban will go Steel Suit, as was suggested. He'll probably discard a dagger. Or he might even discard like a Dune or something just for the doesn't care about buying here particularly. He's got such a weak hand, and he'll keep the daggers and try and get as much money as he can here. So Leto will be up next. So what do you want to do here is Leto. Hardy Warriors feels nice. Wealth also seems solid here. Just to pick up the cash. If you want to win this combat, you can, though. This is definitely for sure. Like, if you want to, you can put in Hardy Warriors, and you can take this down. Or at least you think you can take it down. As it turns out, he'd have to throw in, like, 5 troops to win this combat, because Hundro does have Master Tactician, and I don't know if Hundro would use it. It's a tough one to call. It's a 2 Solari swing though, like on the second turn. That's pretty significant. And bear in mind, of course, if Leto gets he gets Swordmaster, Gets Swordmaster for 1 cheap, courtesy of his ability here. So if he was to win this combat, he would be able to buy Swordmaster immediately. So that is tempting for Hardy Warriors to get stuck in and just rock and roll here. It feels attractive. But I don't know. It's tough to commit to that. And it's always, as always, the way when your player has a load of intrigue cards, you don't know what they've got. You don't know if what they could use, what they might bring to the party, and it just makes you second guess yourself. It's like you know, I had a discussion with someone about the fact they don't like playing Baron because they feel like they get a lot of bad intrigues. They can't really use them. But even if you get the worst intrigues in the world, your opponent doesn't know that you've got the worst intrigues in the world, and it still makes them play differently. They overcommit sometimes, unsure of what you've got. So it kind of goes both ways. You've got to be, you know, you've got to be mindful of how this sort of thing works. And it just messes with your opponent here. Seek Allies looks like it is coming here, and Hardy Warriors just feels, it feels a good time to do it. You got the double daggers, but you know your opponent also has it. You could also go selective breeding. This is also not the worst shout in the world here. Sorry, again, I always get my buttons mixed up. Go selective breeding. Definitely considering it. Start filling out your deck right away, and looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They are going to selective breed now, and settle for, well, it's going to be a tied first place, only a couple of Solari. Remember, of course, you can trash from your hand, or you can trash from your discard here. Got a decision to go with. Just discarding Dune. Just out of here. Gone. Wow. Not even, and just straight gone here. So we'll see what they pull up. Again, keeps the double daggers because everyone else is. Oh, picks up the Reverend Mother. That's so unlucky of a draw. Nothing for the Fremen Bond here at all. That is the one card you didn't want to see, and finds it. Very unlucky for Lido to pull it here. Out of your 6-card deck. Like, sometimes you will, and that's just bad. That's just the way it goes. But no Fremen cards in hand, so she's going to reveal for absolutely nothing. And you're going to have to wait probably another round or so to even see her so you can get some trashing going. Very unlucky. So Hundro will pull the 2 daggers here to take him to 8. He will win this combat here. Very nice payday for Hundro. Hundro deciding to keep his deck very slim here. Just turning down a lot of buying. That is very curious to see. And some people do. Some people will play very very safely. And they will kind of... Oh, they're looking at the trash pile there. That's what you're seeing up there for. You know, you don't have to buy every time you see it. It's very tempting, of course. But declines against it. Ekaz does have an extra action here now. Will he be tempted to get involved? He would have to go research station. He is going research station. Oh my goodness, he got 6 intrigue. Does he have to full scale assault? Maybe pick up the detonation devices? 7, 8, picks up 10 persuasion or 8 and a couple of swords. Wow. You could buy turn 2 spice here. That might well be a record. It's as far as you can. You can't buy spice turn 1. It's basically impossible unless you draw like the craziest intrigues in the world. And even then, I think it's impossible. You'd have to like play Hundro and somehow get all of you. I don't even think it's. You have to go like seek out. I don't know. I don't think it's actually possible. So Ekaz here has a decision to make of what he wants to do here. You can put in troops and have use your swords, but again, everyone else has got troops in, so you probably don't. You got 10 to buy. Do you buy Spice turn 2? Or do you take cards that you think are going to be better for you in the long run? It's so hard to know because you're never in this position this early. Wow. Fascinating. And everyone's going to reveal before as well, so who knows what the Imperium Road's going to look like by the time it comes back to Ekaz here. So like a Chowam comes up, he's laughing. But this is going to be very interesting here. So the double cross from Blue here. Blue's going to take out a troop from... We'll see. Going to cost green. This makes sense. Obviously the biggest competition here. So Blue will get themselves up to 8 strength. It won't be enough if Hundro wants it though. He can still Tactician for the win. And I think he probably will. Because that will deny Blue getting their Swordmaster. I actually think it might be worth it. So just the one to buy for Ilban. Does he take the assassination mission? I feel like someone is going to take this eventually. But again, declines against it. People playing very conservative with their choices here. Leo's reveal, again, very unlucky to pull Sychry over Mother. Does absolutely nothing. That's an unfortunate draw. So just the two to buy for Leto. And I suspect he will grab liaisons because now he needs to fight. He needs to power the Reverend Mother here to prevent this happening again. So we'll start going involved. So Ikaz, you have 10 to buy if you want it. You have 10. Well, you have 10 to buy. You can't use the swords. What on earth do you pull here? Full-scale assault looks decent. Does go full-scale assault. Gets the Dreadnought. Guild Bankers turns up. Cannot afford it. Ooh. That's a little awkward there. That is kind of unfortunate. So a couple of buys. You can have a liaison if he wants it. Full-scale assault is a very weird card in that I can never decide how much I like it. It's expensive to get hold of. The extra swords for your Dreadnoughts, you know, you're basically committing to getting detonation devices here. But it feels awkward. Yes, does indeed play the Master Tactician to take the victory here, as I suspected. I'm going to take that one down. But yeah, I don't know. It's really nice the fact that you can go to a city space or an emperor space and get 2 extra troops than you normally would do. That's super good. Like, that is unbelievably powerful to go to, like, Carthage, for example, and just get 3 troops, and you're off to the races. You know, that's super strong. Plus your garrison Dreadnought, which is probably going to be in there, usually. So, you know, lots of potential there. So we'll see what the plan is here. But Ikaz he might be looking to get pretty aggressive here, which is usually, you know, you don't normally see this, but, well, fun is going to be had. It is turn 3. It is Sort Through the Chaos is our next combat. Always a bit of a funky combat. I don't think people are never too sure how heavily to commit. Getting the Mentat straight off, the extra agent turn, is pretty nice. But second place is also very good. The Intrigue and 2 Solari. So, of course, Ikaz will be looking to get on to some combat here. Has no water, unfortunately. Otherwise, he'd be probably looking at Hagar Basin and then pick up the detonation devices here and try and take a win down. But cannot do so. Picks up both of his diplomacies, though. Steel Suits looks incredibly good here to get your Dreadnought in, get some water, threaten the Hagar Basin. Someone's going there before you, but you kind of have to try and at least threaten it. You've always got your second diplomacy card on hand as well. Might also just attempt to go full space. If Ikaz doesn't go full space, someone gets access to Interstellar this turn. So there is pressure to take that just for pure denial purposes, and you might well benefit from it later on. You never know. So a lot of options here for Ikaz. You don't have to go Steel Suits, but I think Steel Suits or Fold Space are probably your 2 best options here. Everyone has some pretty decent decks. Hundros isn't the greatest in the world. That is a bit of an issue, so you have to do something about that. So, options available for Sychry. What do you take on here? It's a tough one. It's not an easy call. I think you have to go. You could also go smuggling, to look to secure your Swordmaster in the next couple of turns, but it's gonna take on Steel Suits, which it feels tempting because you want to get forces on the ground. And whoever goes to Fold Space will not be getting involved in combat this turn. And you've got the Garrison Forces. So you're very likely to take this one down by doing this. But it does mean that Interstellar access is going to be given probably to blue here. So they will be getting involved with the fun. It kind of puts Leader in a bit of an awkward spot. So we'll see Fold Space here, and then Signet Ring for Ilban. No doubt about that. So Leto has his ring. Leto surely is going to Hagar Basin. I think the play here is Hagar Basin for Leto and use his ring to chase the Spacing Guild. Just to threaten that and just try and make whatever use he can out of that. I think it's the right call. The spice is sitting there. 4 spice and 1 water. That's pretty good. You can get a troop in as well. You're pretty much guaranteed 2 Solari, because there's no way Ilban does not ever go Interstellar, you would imagine. Especially on this combat. He will not get him committed. He has no garrison troops. So, I think Leto's turn plays itself a bit here. Wow. Now, this is interesting. He's gonna take the spice from shipping to go there this way. Now, that's fascinating. Wow, I'm amazed he did not go for the spice there. Surely this is an open goal for Hundro here. And he's got bypass protocol. So he can buy any card and put it on top of his deck here. Anyone he wants, he guarantees it if he goes to Hager Basin here. Wow, that's a nice offer for Hundro. I don't think you can refuse this. No one's going to threaten you for Swordmaster. You do not have to go there right away. Surely Hager Basin, and does indeed do so. I expect we'll see bypass protocol played here. Probably for guild bankers. I don't think that's a bad idea. You just get it, and it's the day. You can also get Charney as well to get your water back. But I suspect we'll see bypass played immediately, and is indeed done so, and does take the guild bankers as expected. He will not pay to get it on top of his deck, though. He'll just use the standard ability just to take the card there, so that'll be very strong. Cariel turns up in its place. Another incredibly powerful card. Wow. Ekaz is going to go for Mentat here. He's going to wait a little bit and kind of give himself a last action, or last-ish action. Picks up his Signet Ring, which is pretty nice. Again, still, Local Fence is still there. That's a very nice card. Desert Ambush, if you fancy getting creative, is also available to you there. Ekaz is having a little bit of a look there. Perhaps giving away, if you're observant, that he has Signet Rings. He's suddenly very interested in the Imperium row, so be careful about that. Interstellar for Ilban. He'll visit there again next turn, you would imagine, unless he somehow doesn't draw any cards he can get there. Leto will be up next. So what is Leto's second play here? Now, this is harder to know. You got Diplomacy, but Hardy Warriors doesn't feel very good here. You could go Wealth. It's not the worst, but I think if you're going to go Wealth, you might as well just go in the combat. You're going to get your money in anyways. Maybe a trip to Carthage seems pretty good here. You got free to buy persuasion-wise. You could also go... Oh, do you go and take troop transports now? You have the dagger. It'd give you 5 to buy instead. And you having that means no one else does. And you've set out your stall that you're looking to go do some shipping here. Although Ilban is now completely in your way. It feels nice. It feels very, very good. I don't see what else your alternatives here. I don't know. It's either that or Carthag. But Carthag feels like it has kind of limited use. The fact you've got the 5 means you can threaten Cariel, you can threaten Charney, or anything else that turns up here. It's slightly longer play. But again, troop transports is troop transports, right? And I think Leto is going to agree here. And he is going to pick it up. No, he's not. He's going to just put the troop in and hold on. Wow. Did not take it right away. Opted not to do so. That is an interesting decision here. I would have thought you'd want to just take it now so you don't have to worry about it. I guess the argument is you're there. But, I mean, 100 could still go there if he wants to go down the Dreadnought route. Which, I mean, who knows? I've absolutely no idea. I don't know what 100's going to do here. Once he gets his Swordmaster, of course, he will definitely take that. He is going to take it, right? You take it with the dagger, right? Like, you just... Wow. Picks up Sisters. That's never a bad card to pick up. 100 wants to win this combat. He's willing to sacrifice his, potentially sacrifice Swordmaster to do so. What is going on here? Wow. How, what? Okay, I don't think I can explain that one. I don't know why you don't just go dagger and then do that anyways. It's only Ekaz going afterwards. If he goes to Karfag, whatever, you go Arakeen. Not entirely sure. Ekaz picks up the second water here. He's going to threaten the Great Flat. Going to put Ilban in a bit of a weird spot here. Next turn, does he take the 6 spice for his water? Or does he go interstellar shipping? Little awkward. Nice play from Ekaz to actually go Haggar basing. I think this is a very nice decision here. He's eyeing up local fence. It's such a nice card. And that potentially, he might be looking, maybe the plan is here to take local fence, assume Ilban still goes interstellar shipping, and then he picks up the 6 spice from the Great Flat here, and then uses local fence to turn it into money. But just decides to take the liaison instead here with ring ability. There's a lot of funkiness going on here. 5 to buy for Ilban here. I mean, Cariol just looks absolutely delicious here. Chani's also strong. The extra water will do you some nice goods here. The access is always fun. But Cariol is like one of the best cards in the game. Especially if you're going for like water, and you just keep visiting the Great Flat and you just print spice. Makes you very hard to play against. You don't even have to wait for it to build up. You can go whenever you want, and you're getting 6+. Takes Chani instead. He's going to take the water here. So I'm trying to make a domination of that, maybe in case Sidene turns something later on. Bounty Hunter is the next card to turn up here. Very, very fun card. I do enjoy it. One of my favorite cards in the game, Bounty Hunter. 4 to buy for OMANT. I mean, I don't even know what to predict people are going to pick here. OMANT is a very experienced player. He's probably the most experienced player of the 4 here. So goes for Desert Ambush. Again, it's always a tricky card, Desert Ambush, to use effectively. Because you have to kind of like play it late. Otherwise, people will just go and put in those troops back into combat here. So it's always a bit awkward, Desert Ambush. But who knows? We'll see what the plan is. Maybe if he, I mean, you could argue, he picks it up with troop transports, it becomes suddenly an incredibly powerful card. Potentially, if timed correctly. But we'll see what the plan is. So Hundro will be up next. So Hundro is going to tie for second place here. Oh no, he won't. He'll be at 4. My apologies. Also picks up Bounty Hunter. It's just never a bad pick. So Hundred's going to take 4 here. He's again refusing to buy. Doom is playing very, very cagey with what cards he picks up here, which is a very interesting strat. A lot of people just buy whatever they see, but decides not to do so. Ekaz with 4 to buy. Again, local fence is good, but Fremenkamp's also another powerful card. He is going combat heavy here, so Fremenkamp it is. Makes total sense here. Again, further threatening with the Great Flat, so this is real danger here. We'll see how things go. He will take the combat, so Ekaz will win the combat here. So gets the guaranteed Mentat, and both players will get an Intrigue and 2 Solari here. Ekaz also must put down his Dreadnought in one of the 3 spots, and must make the call before the next conflict is revealed. He'll be there for 1 turn before he's returned back to his thing. Wow, Champions for Ekaz and Stage Instant for Moritani. Both very attractive. No. He's got to put his Dreadnought down. There you go. Dreadnought's got to go down before the next conflict appears. People don't use them a huge amount. Gonna go Karfag. And it was the Imperial Basin, unfortunately. So it doesn't get the bonus troop. But yes, you must put the Dreadnought must go down before the next combat is revealed. And unfortunately, pulls his full-scale assault this one, so you'll probably be using that just to get more troops in and just use it aggressively here. There's no reason not to do this. You're not using it for reveal effect. Ilban is going to be up first. So, I don't really know what to expect in this turn here. Again, how Hunter didn't pick his Swordmaster already, I don't know. Seems kind of crazy. You could argue maybe he waited to pick up Swordmaster so he could get it this turn and just further hinder. Like, he's hindered himself for a turn, but it's going to hinder everyone else for a bit longer, you could argue. I don't know. Could go both ways on that. Anyways, Ilban will buy in here. He'll go up and down. Surely he takes troop transports. He will look to dominate the shipping track here. And does indeed decide to do so. That will get troops in immediately here. Memo Quarters is the next appearance on the track here. That's always a decent little tech. 2 spice for a bump is not a bad trade anyways. And there are always worlds you can pick up the end game point, but it's pretty tough. Unless you're like an infant specialist like Tesia or something. But, you know, it happens. Free troops do go into Imperial Basin. Makes total sense. What does Ilban take here? You probably take the cash, right? Looks like it's going to be a cash pickup. Both options are real, but you have Satellite Band, which is paying for your spice. So I would be taking the cash here. Decides against. Well, where are you going to get the 8th coin from, buddy? You can't use Signet Ring to, like, ambush Swordmaster out of nowhere. That's not how that works. We'll see what the plan is here. It's an interesting choice to go for the spice. What's he up to here? We shall see. Anyways, Leo's up next. Leo pulls his liaison and the Siege Reverend Mother here. Unfortunately, doesn't give him much else, so he'll probably go to here to probably pick up Memo Quarters, and does decide he's going to do so. Just pay for the spies, take the extra intrigue here. Interesting where he takes the bump. He might race spacing here. I suspect that's probably what he's going to try and do and oppose it. Shuttle Fleet turns up as the next tech. Very powerful tech here. Very strong. I imagine that is going to get some interest. Ecans, there's worlds of Ecans will be buying this. And that will fund his Charum shares, so this sounds a fantastic tech for him. Now, at this point, Duke Leto has 9 influence, by the way. 3 for the Reverend Mother, 5, 6, 8, and then 1 for the positions. He could literally just buy spice here, turn 4. And I have a funny feeling he's going to do that. I don't see him doing anything else. I think he's just going to buy the spice, call it a day. So, yep, I've got a point. Oh, Memo Quarters. Where did he take the bump with Memo Quarters? Did he take it with the... It's with the friend by looks of it. I don't think he's visited there. So Hunter will be up next. Hunter still has not picked up his Swordmaster. He will surely do so at some point this turn. Fold Space coming in. I mean, you want to get troops in as well because you've got Stage Incident and you want to power that. You've got your Signet Ring. You want to do some shipping. I mean, even going to smuggling and just paying a spice for the extra bump is not outrageous. If you wanted to get really... I don't think you can quite do that. If you want to get really fancy, actually, here's a play for you. If you wanted to have some fun. You Signet Ring to smuggling. You pay the... Oh, it doesn't actually quite work. You're one short. I was going to say, you could do that and then have enough to go Highliners and just have a war. Doesn't quite work out. Either way, he's going to go Imperial Base instead, pick up the spice. He might still be considering Highliners. It's not impossible. He could also go for Dreadnought here and pick up Shuttle Fleet that way. I don't know what Doom is going to do here. I haven't a clue what the plan is. I've no idea. I have legit no clue what to expect. Who knows? All options on the table here. Ikaz will pick up the spice as expected, and he will go and put the troops in. He will be looking to use full-scale assault. He will be using that surely to go to Carthag if he can. Or maybe even go back to the siege. Always possible. See what the plan is here for Ikaz. Ilban has got to use Satellite Band, you'd think. I mean, even going to like Hardy Warriors, like you go to Hardy Warriors, you discard a CAD dagger, you get your water back. That's pretty good. I mean, Carthag feels kind of nice, but you're giving money to yellow. You don't really want to do that. And Satellite Band is just such a good card. You want to be using it as many turns as possible. So I think this is Satellite Band to Hardy Warriors. And get some more troops in. Fight for the basin. Take the point. You know, you got to fight for it here. It's, you know, scores are fairly tight so far. You're in the lead. So we're just not trying to push ahead here. But Carthag I could understand as well. But it's just the Asian action of Satellite Pan is so powerful, especially when you've in early game, when you've not got a very good deck, and you've also got like you want to get those resources quickly to get your game going. I think this is just you just do it, and you're also pushing for an alliance here as well, right? Yeah, This is the right play. This is the correct call here. I'm pretty sure. So a couple of troops in. Whether you'll put them all in or not, I don't know. I think you have to because ECAS is sitting there with 2 agent turns still. I think you get them both in and you go for your daggers and you close your eyes and hope you win. You're probably not going to. But even if you get second spot and you pick up a water, that takes you to 5 water, which is like absurd. And you can just go research station whenever you want here. Puts in only the 1 troop, so he's going to be at 10. Maybe expecting that he's just not going to win it. He's just trying. But I think if you do that, I wouldn't even bother putting him in. I think that's an all or nothing there. But regardless. So Lino is up next. I think he's going to just reveal and take the basics, the bonus spice and buy Spice's Flow. Take the point. Call it a day. What else do you do here as Lino? Like, you could use your liaison to pick up High Council. And you'd still get your reveal effect to the Seats Reverend Mother, and you'd still get the 2 reveal, because it now comes from High Council instead. I could get behind that. You're basically giving up Swordmaster for, like, the game, if you do that. Probably. But it's very tempting. I wouldn't... He's gonna use the Reverend Mother! Wow! Whoa! I didn't expect this. Now this is fascinating. Well, he's gonna go Steel Suits. He gets the Fremen point, the water, and like gets a troop in, I guess. Ooh. Obviously, he wants to start trashing cards, which is definitely an important part of the game. But I do feel like trashing is not quite as valuable now as it used to be in the base game, just because the general quality of cards, courtesy of the Imperium row, is just better than it was in the base game. I can see why you want to start trashing your daggers, but your daggers aren't bad as Lido. You kind of want to keep hold of them, right? You know, you want that access to the council so you can get, like, Bentat cheap. Well, looks like this is going to be the commitment. Lido's going to go down this route here. I would have really... I don't know. It's tough. I think I just reveal and take the Spice and Flow point. It's right there. You still have 7, which is nice, but... Or 6 even, I should say. I don't know. I think I probably do that, but... Maybe he reckons he's gone after Carriol and thinks that he's going to get more value out of this over the course of the game. And just buying the straight Spice. Tough. Tough. I don't know what you do here. Anyway, so it's on to Hundra. Hundra has a million resources and needs to start using them. Like, you just have to get Swordmaster now, right? Right? You've held off on it already. I don't know why you held off on it, but you did. There we go. There's the Swordmaster. I imagine he'll pay the spice for the bump on the shipping. If he doesn't, be very afraid, because that means Highliners is income, and he doesn't. Oh my gosh, he's going Highliners so he can get Diversion to pip off instead. And he might have been staged to get the point that way. Oh man. Ehaz is going to go for conspiring here. He's going to get 4 troops into his garrison, courtesy of full scale as well. That's pretty nuts. 5 Solari in the intrigue. This is very nice. Feels good to get that stuff. It's like an old school rally troops here. Picks up ambush as well. That feels pretty nice. Imperial Basin is within his grasp here. He'll have to spend a little bit to do it. But it's available. So Ilban will have 10 strength. It's probably not going to be good enough. Lino has 6. Surely picking up the carry-all here. That's kind of what you set yourself up here for, right? Or does he go for, like, politics? I don't know. I mean, you want the spice, right? It just pays for your ring. You're never going to be short of spice for your signet ring. I mean, you just go Carrier, right? You've not got a big deck. You got, what, 11 cards? It's not that bad. I mean, I don't know. I think you could be accused of overthinking this a little bit, maybe. It's always tough. This is not just like a casual game in the interwebs. This is the Imperium Cup. This is a live tourney. There's $200 up top for the winner of this tournament. And while this is still, reasonably early in the group stages, people want to make sure they're making the right decisions here. So I can understand taking some time, but I don't know. You gotta be careful not to kind of overthink here and confuse stuff. You still want to play your kind of natural game. You don't want to complicate things too much here. As Hundro's about to go adventuring here. And adventure he does. Here we go. Thailanders it is. He wants himself a bit of action, does Hundro here. I suspect he's going to throw it all in as well. This is all happening. He's going to throw the lot in. And he's going to be somewhat fortunate here as Hundro. What's going to happen is he's going to put these in. And then Diversion kicks in here as well. And then the Archduke is going to somehow conspire to win this fight, probably with ambush. And then Hundro retaliates to stage incident. So this is going to be unlucky for the Archduke here. Hundro will get the point regardless. Also gives him access to shipping to just further complicate things on that front. Probably won't see too much use out of it, but you never know. You have to kind of wait his turn, but Timur's going to have slightly less ability to dominate that track here. Ikaz goes to Karfat, picks up his 8th Solari, which is always nice, so Swordmaster is online to get. Picks up Second Wave. Wow, another strong combat card here for the Archduke here. That is very nice. It's a bit of a weird spot. I think you just get all 3 in. You see, he's got 12 strength, so you're just kind of doing the maths here. Unfortunately, you haven't got like an odd number, so you can't just go for like 13. You have to go for 14. This is what it is. So just trying to do the maths. Obviously, you don't know if Hundro's got any swords in hand. You could check his deck and look. You'd probably know. But if you put in the 3, you can win this combat. You can put in 2 and win the combat, because you use the Bene Gesserit system for swords. Unless you want the +4. I mean, Gunfopter looks very attractive. And I think that's where this is going here. Again, this is kind of unfortunate for... it's kind of unfortunate for Ikaz. He's going to have to use some text and some cards here to get the win, and then he's just going to get staged against. It's a bit unlucky. 4 to buy for Hundro. Hundro might take Gunfopter before Ikaz does. I would probably recommend he does this. I think you want a bit of bite in your combat, and if you're looking to do a lot of shipping, you're going to have a lot of garrison troops. Gunfopter's a very attractive way to get them in without actually committing. But he's been very selective over the cards he buys. He has not been buying unnecessarily, but Gunfopter is one he'll take on here. Picks up Appropriate. That's a very powerful card if used correctly. Get a 2 influence, you can buy text with this action and use Solari if you so wish. That is unbelievably powerful. So it's going to be 12 for Ikaz here. I don't know. I mean, I get it. You should probably just use... You don't need the swords, I guess. But again, you don't know what text Hundro's got, so I guess that's fine. Picks up the Imperial Spy. Reveals Shifting Allegiances. Very powerful card as well. Could be a bit of a race for that. Ikaz can pick that with his signet ring. It's one of the best cards in the game, if not the best card in the game, that Ikaz can pick up with his signet ring. Absolutely absurd. Anyways, we're off to combat here. So, Hundro's in a weird spot here. Like, do you want to stage now? Because you're tied? You just can't just get the point. If Hundro can wait and bluff it out and get Ikaz to play one of his actual tech cards... Which it looks like what he's done. He's gonna make it out. So Ikaz is gonna play the tech card here, and then he plays the stage. So it's a nice play there from Hundro. That was a nice bit of patience. Tempting to just play that straight away and just like say, "Oh, I can't win this regardless." Made him play the tech though. So nicely played from Hundro. That will take him down to 6 strength. So he picks up a water. The water he's not too worried about. But that was a nice little feint there from Hundro. So Ikaz burns a tech card he obviously didn't want to use. We didn't have to, but it's the way it goes. So nice play there from Doom. Ikaz will still pick up the Imperial Basin, however, which is always fun. Very nice. 2 water for Ilbarn turns him into a water merchant. And then Hundro has 3 as well. So water all over the joint for this one. Apart from Ikaz. Ikaz is water starved. He's going to be able to get his Swordmaster before anyone else. But then resource generation is going to be a bit tricky for Ikaz. He might well start going to Siege again, though, if he can. So we'll see what the plan is. Anyways, that is it. 5th round is up. Trade Monopoly is our combat. A little bit later in the action. But usually heavily fought against. People value those 2 bumps in the tracker there, and I don't blame them. 2nd place is also pretty good normally. Diplomacy in the water, although the water's it's not as valuable in this game. But a lot of games tend to be rather water starved, so there's a lot of options here. Regardless, we'll see what the plan is. So Lido does have the Siege Reverend Mother in hand. No Fremen cards, however, so you'd have to go hunting for them. Signet Ring to Mentat doesn't feel terrible. You've only got 1 track you can chase on currently. That's the Emperor. But I think you probably do that. Or Interstellar, of course. That was obviously open. Interstellar's never, immediately my first thought. But hey-ho. Does he pay the spice to chase? Yes, he does indeed. Has to be the Emperor. There is no... Oh, he could go Fremen, actually. If Fremen is an option. If he wants it. I think you probably just go Emperor, though, and get closer to that point, right? Unless you want to put pressure on blue. So more aggressive. Definitely a much more aggressive action here to chase Fremen. But he is going to do so. He's going to threaten it, which is very interesting. Much more confrontational. I kind of like it. So we've got Gunfopter up for Hundro. I think you might want to use it. He has no garrison troops. Also has space, the Guild Bankers. So you can get spice for cheap here. Only has 4 to buy, though, however, and that is a problem. That is a definite issue here. Do you maybe go Gunfopter to Haga Basin? And then use Diplomacy to go to Selective Breeding? You're still not guaranteed to get it, though, to get to your 6. Far from guaranteed. But I think that might be the play. You've got 3 actions, and if you bust, you can always just spend your 3rd on something else. If you don't make the 6 entry. But whenever you get Guild Bankers, you feel kind of compelled to use it. It's going to pick up Dune instead here. Now, this is curious. Deciding to use this and not the Gunfopter. So, maybe there's plans to get troops in elsewhere? I don't know. Maybe there's other intentions here from Hundro. Maybe he's going to go to, Hardy Warriors or something. I really don't know. Ikaz is up next. Ikaz will obviously be looking to get hold of Swordmaster. Won't do it now, I don't imagine. No reason not to. So you want to take another action first here. Your hand's kind of cruddy, though. But Carthag feels good. You want to get your troops in. Also, smuggling's not bad. And we'll go up there. That's fine. Swordmaster next turn, then probably recon to, the Siege or Carthag, whichever one's available to you. Maybe Arakeen. I don't know how interested Ikaz is going to be in, drawing cards for, buying and stuff. The Count has all the options available in the world here. Count's going to pick up the... wow. So Count's going to go Mentat here. So he's going to get 1 for the Mentat. He's going to get 1 for forward space, and he's going to get 1 for the fact that he's gone to a big space to buy. So that's it's basically a mini research station there. That's pretty nice. That feels very good inside to do that. Wow. But owning 2 slide picks up a heck of a lot of cards here, so a lot of options for Ilbarn. Lido back up to the plate. I think you probably end up using the Siege Reverend here, I guess. It's kind of awkward. But you had an opportunity, Blue had an opportunity to cement the Fremen Alliance and didn't take it. I think you have to punish that. I think you have to just go Steel Suits or Hardy Warriors. I'd probably go Hardy Warriors here with your Freaks from Reverend Mother and just punish him and take that Alliance. I think you have to do that. And I'm definitely considering it. I don't know how likely you're going to be able to hold it. But to be honest, that's not your problem. That's Blue's problem to challenge. And I think this is something that you should definitely consider here. But I think I would be going Hardy Warriors here. Take the Alliance. You're water neutral. It always feels nice to go Hardy Warriors and take the Fremen Alliance because you're water neutral here. So you got options here. You also want to make a challenge for the combat. It's a nice combat. Again, further water neutrality here. There's basically water on offer. You could gain water by going to Hardy Warriors, as absurd as that sounds. And I think that's what's coming here. And it is, yeah. It just always feels nice here. I think this is the right place, and we'll go down one. Bear in mind, of course, you still have to have water to make this play in the first place. You can't use the water from the Fremen Alliance to pay for your trip here. You must always pay your costs of the space before you can visit it. Even with Kwisatz, you cannot Kwisatz to somewhere you either don't have the resources or you don't have the requirements. You cannot break those rules. You still have to be able to afford or access the space before you can go to Kwisatz. So troops will go in. ECAS will definitely put in troops here regardless. And you probably will win if ECAS really does want to win. I imagine they will. They've got trade monopoly they want to go for here. Always a good share. So what does Hondra want to do here? I think Gunfopter feels nice here. No one else is really committed. Helps Red out a bit. Again, I would have thought you'd want to play this first, potentially. You got Guild Bankers. You need to work out how you're going to get that. And the only way you're doing that is by going straight to Breeding. But I guess you've already used your Doom card instead of Gunfopter. So you've kind of gone away from that strategy. But you've got options. You still go Carfag, put a troop in. The problem is you've got, especially with Hundro, he's got no way to put troops in without using his Gunfopter. That's the awkwardness. You want to be able to go there and have Gunfopter in the back pocket as bonus swords. This is only going to take garrison troops out, which isn't going to make a huge difference in the end of things. Bear in mind, of course, Gunfopter only takes out troops, so it cannot be used to destroy dreadnoughts, even that's the last thing remaining in there. So it's a bit of an awkward hand for here for Hundro. And he might use his Guild Bankers and give up buying spice. Looks like that's what he's going to do here. And he's going to... Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! He's going Dreadnought! Oh, wow, it picks up detonation devices. However, he cannot use Gunfopter. He can't use Gunfopter for the Dreadnought, however. It's only troops you can deploy. Is he going Steel Suits? Interesting. And made it play for detonation devices, which is also interesting. I suspect ECAS had probably intentions to try and pick that up at some point. Apologies for everyone. Trying to sort out something out on the side here. So ECAS obviously gets the Swordmaster. Ilban has a couple of turns. Ilban has 9 persuasion and should look to try and keep all that where possible to get some spice. So maybe a trip to Arakeen might be in order here. Satellite Band you want to use again, but you don't really need to use it. You've got so many resources already. I don't know. It's a tough one. You could use your dagger maybe to go to High Council and buy that. If you had another spike, you could pick up Shuttle Fleet, although it's starting to get a little bit late in the game for that. It's turn 5. You're gonna get a couple of hits of the money, which isn't the biggest deal. You're kind of paying just for the bumps, which I don't know if that's the most valuable at this point now. But you have a million water. So research station is just available to you here. And you could do that. If you wanted, you could just go to research station and just have a million cards here. I think this is going to be a High Council trip. No, he's going there. What are you picking up? You pick up research? It might be picking up disposal facility. I always overlook disposal. I have a bad habit of doing so, and does decide to do so. So it gets a trash on the spot, and be able to thin the deck down. It's not a huge deck as it is anyways, but that'd be a nice way to get more value out of Satellite Ban, especially. So let's do business in the next shown. Tech, never bad. I always enjoy Sonic. Always can, you know, that can wildcard you out some really bad spots here. OMANT here will reveal for free, picking up Shifting Allegiances, unbelievably powerful, potentially in Leo's hands. Hundro, more action to go here. So I don't know what the plan is for Hundro. I'm worried that Hundro thinks he's going to be able to deploy his Dreadnought with his Gunfopter. He cannot do so. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But there's no other way to get troops in here. Diplomacy, I mean, you could diplomacy to Wealth, pick up the point there. You could even go to forward space here. You could arguably diplomacy the forward space and then look to ship next turn. You can also go Steel Suits and put in your Dreadnought that way. It's not a bad option. I suppose you feel compelled to get your Dreadnought in somehow, and this is going to be a way to do it. You will surpass Lido, but you still have to beat Ekaz, and he's got a Dreadnought of his own, and surely Ekaz is going... I mean, somehow none of the city's been visited here, so Recon to Carthag feels fairly automatic here. You could also go Siege if you're interested in the water, which isn't an outrageous option. Still going to have 4 to buy is Ekaz. Is Ekaz perhaps considering an early reveal to pick up Appropriate? I don't feel like that'd be the right call here. You gotta get in here. You can take this one down. Yeah, Carthag just feels like... It's just... How do you not do this? And you just take this down. He's thinking about it, Sychry. Kind of a tense game, this, in a way. Like, we've had... this is like people putting a lot of thought into decisions, trying to make sure they're happy with them. These games are played with no time limits. Ambush pick up there. That makes me feel a lot happy about this. But yeah, pick up. I would. It's kind of weird. This you almost like. I think you put in the 1 troop. You keep 2 garrisoned. You always want to try to take 2 garrisoned if you want for the maximum impact of deploying. But might just intend to use like ambush to win the day here. I think you still put in the troop here. The troop's gonna be wasted because of course he's gonna have 5. Hundred has 6, and you have to use ambush. Unless you think that he has Gunfopter, and you deliberately leave the troop out. But that's, like, a really difficult play to make. I don't expect to see that. If you can just be in front numerically, you're going to do that. But Ekaz will take this here. What's he going to do here? You could conceivably use grab Spice and use your +2 to buy Shuttle Fleet if you wanted. Depends if he wants to take the -2 tech. He might just go down and up and ready up for another transport visit in a couple of turns. Ilban's still to act, by the way. Ilban has 9 to play. So Ilban could go Arakeen here with his Signet Ring and basically free roll for some Spice. Or you can use it to pick up your High Council and get that done. That's also fine. So all of the... it's fine. He can do it. Don't worry about that. So it only costs him 4, of course, the Signet Ring. So that's going to ready up Ilban here. He's going to be in good shape. So Hundred will take the 3 swords here. So that'll take him up to 6, which means that Ekaz will have to use one of his techs to take the win. I don't know which one you use here. Ambush is nicer than just straight swords. Second wave, you're kind of wasting a bit to use, but might be more economical in the long term. Harder to know. Second wave does innately have more potential strength. You can have up to effectively 6 swords if you have 2 troops in garrison. Oh, it's a tough call. 4 to buy. Let's see what we got here. Court Intrigue is the next one. Court Intrigue is a very nice card if you're going a lot of intrigue cards, because you can always cycle them, always chase the Emperor. You're not blocked from there. But it might be a bit late in the game now for Court Intrigue. I don't know. You're the one sitting there with 3 intrigues, so you got options. Local fence, somehow someone has not picked up. I cannot believe no one's picked up local fence. Maybe I overrate it slightly, but it's even if you don't use it for the agent action, it's still a 2 reveal card. That's pretty good. Shock Trooper. Shock Trooper for Ekaz. Oh my god. Just going for the swords, I guess. Wow. So, Ilban will reveal for a healthy 10 and will buy Spice, taking his 4th point of the game. Puts him officially in the lead. Only just. But we'll see. So, that's going to be all for this. Battle will commence. Ekaz will surely play one of his techs to take this down. Yeah, Ilban needs to trash with disposal facility. Remember, you need to do that when you reveal. Do not wait for the end of combat. You got to do that when you reveal. Just careful. And Ekaz is just going to use the straight ambush here. He's going to say second wave for later on, which I think is totally fine. I kind of like it this way. So he'll take the combat down. Trade Monopoly will be his. He'll have to, again, place his Dreadnought somewhere. He does not have detonation devices like Hundred does. He'll always be threatening with that now. But Hundred picks up the Intrigue and the Water, which is never bad. Picks up Urgent Mission, one of the better intrigues in the game. Very strong, that. And OMANT will pick up a... Surely he'll take the Intrigue. I don't think he's going to take the Water. He's got to. He'll feel happy with that. So OMANT has an option here of what to take. Surely it's going to be the Intrigue. It is going to be the Intrigue. It is going to be the Intrigue. Thank you. There we go. And it picks up Quid Pro Quo. Very powerful if you can stack up a load of agents and have some spice in the background and just get tons of influence points. Very nice card. It's a little bit unfortunate because he's got a lot of stuff that already spends spice. His Signet Ring. He's got Shifting Allegiances as well. So that's a little awkward. But I'm sure Lino can find a way to get the spice together. So, looks like Ekaz is going up and down. He's going to take a tech here. He could take... He can take wind traps. I believe the bonus of winning conflict still plays. He's still in one conflict mode. Looks like I am wanted here. We'll quickly dip into the chat. I think I know what the question is going to be. So we'll get ourselves into the chat here. A bit of playing on the live. It is, which loop is it? It's that one.
Unless if he...
Howdy.
If he
I think I know what question you're going to ask, but go ahead.
You know what we're gonna ask, yeah.
I think I do, yeah. As far as I'm concerned with wind traps, you're still in the wind conflict phase.
Right.
So if you take that, you can get the second ball. I that's my understanding. Judging because like if for example if you've got trade monopoly, you're not in your because if you get trade monopoly and you take spaceport, which is the one you draw 2 cards, those go into your hand, and then you draw an extra 5 cards into your next hand. So you have 7. So you're not in like you're like in the win combat phase. I could be wrong here. I'm sure if I'm wrong.
No, it sounds kind of alright. Like I'm fine with that decision.
Yeah. I'm sure if I'm wrong, then the YouTube channel will berate me and humiliate me.
No, but
and,
I'm on your team.
Death threats from BGG, but that's my understanding of the situation. If you want to take that,
I think it works the same way as the intrigues, like I was saying. Right?
Yeah.
You draw an intrigue that wins. So why wouldn't you draw a tactile and win? Right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. If you draw, I'm pretty sure if you draw the intrigue for the extra free spice or demand respect, you can play it immediately. So
so the answer is yes, right?
As far as I'm concerned, yes. All right, there conversation sorted out. So, like I said, I might be wrong here, but as far as I'm aware, it's like if a intrigue, if you pull like the demand respect one, you have the spice, you can use it straight away, and the to the victor one, you get the free spice for winning. I'm fairly sure that's how that works. I could be wrong, and I'm sure if I am, I will know about it. Ekaz will take his 4th point in the game. Technically puts him into the lead courtesy of Solari tiebreak. Long way to go in this game. Coming up to turn 6 here, and no one has more than 4 points. So this one could be going for some distance yet. So we are up to action. So turn 6 is going to be raid stockpiles. This is really nice if it's like a turn 2 combat, but turn 6, I do not expect this to be heavily competitive. I think people are just going to build up for the conflict freeze that are coming up very, very soon. So obviously, Interstellar for Hundro. Cans are going to come up next here. Hundro has a very nice looking hand here. Imperial Spy. It looks not too shabby. Fremen Camp, you're going to want to make use of that. I mean, you got 3 spies waiting for you, Imperial Basin, and a load of garrison troops if you want to get stuck in here. You kind of want to keep Fremen Camp for next turn, but you can always just use some of them as garrison. You got second wave, so you want to have that as an option later on. That always feels pretty good. Your diplomacy is available as well. You could go Selective Breed. No one's really gone Bene Gesserit yet. Spacing Guild is kind of like sitting there as an option. I don't know. Fremen Camp to like Imperial Basin and just put in a couple of like free troops and garrison one of those you get feels kind of nice. That makes you very dangerous for a lot of combat here. And outside of the Dreadnought for green here, you're the only person with a load of forces. But you do have Challenge shares, and you do want to fund that. And you do want to, like, take a push for the Emperor Alliance as well. So this doesn't feel too bad an option. So he's going to go and do this and pick this up. He'll surely trash the card for the Intrigue, which is the idea. It's why I like it. I have a bad habit of, like... I readily admit I have a habit of bloating my deck out. So we'll just trash that thing as the trash functionality is kind of gone funky there. Picks up Strategic Push. Nice. Could find some use out of that. The Solary's not so much of a big deal now. But definitely not too shabby. And then, but yeah, that feels, it's pretty good. Makes it a very good shout for the Emperor Alliance. Should probably pick that up before this game is out. Ilban up next. Ilban's going to take the spice here. Now, does Ilban have intentions of Highliners here? Not necessarily to use it to win the combat, but you could use it to get some troops in for the spice and then look to stock up for the next round. Because you go after yellow. There could be some intentions here. We shall see. Lido will be up next. Lido's got Carriel. Oh, obviously, I think he had intention to go Great Flat, which is probably why Ilban got in there first. But you got Desert Ambush as well, which again, really strong. This is where it's awkward. So, Desert Ambush can be used with going smuggling here, which is this. Which is what's going on here. But I think that he kind of wanted to do this in the turns, not right now. But Lido also wants to take the cash because he wants to get his Swordmaster because he still doesn't have it. So you kind of can't really have everything. You got to make a sacrifice somewhere. So and also it blocks Hundro from going smuggling, and he does have his ring though, so he'll just do that. So it doesn't really properly block. I don't know. I think I would have. It's awkward. You want your Swordmaster. It's turns. It's the 7th round, 6th round. It is 6th round. I don't know. It's a tough one. He will make use of Carrier before it's said and done, though. So we'll see what the plan is. Lido is going to take the bump with the Fremen. Looking to cement that alliance there. We'll take the cash, so he's going to look to use his dagger for the Swordmaster. Totally fine. So, Hundro here. Surely he's going to go like Carthag, or someone he can... No, he needs the spice. He'd have to go like Haga Basin, and then use the Pip to take the... to get the extra troops in via his troop transporting from the smuggling here. Also, remember, of course, he still wants to win a combat here. He has detonation devices. So he's going to go there to keep the water intact, which is interesting. I think I would have probably gone Haga Base and got tons of water. But never mind. So that'll be a couple of troops which will go in. That'll all go into combat, of course, for the 7 strength. What does Hundred take his Pip here? I kind of like taking the Pip the Spacing Guild and threatening that alliance here. I think you kind of need to do that. I don't think Hundro will take cash here. I think he should probably take spice. Probably more useful to him now. Could also go Fremen just to take the point, which is also fine. Just securing those 4 influence points is an important part of your game. If you start, they're there to be taken. They can't be removed. And leaving them on the table, you're not going to win many games like that. So it takes the Fremen point. Gives access to the seats if that's something that becomes important. Now, what does Hundred do here? Wow, Restricted Ordnance has turned up. He could take Spice and take Restricted Ordnance, but then he has to get to High Council some point. And that isn't going to be now. He can't do that yet. Shuttle Fleet's out of hand. He's going to do it. Takes Restricted Ordnance. Wow, Holtzman turns up. That's potentially a huge card for Ilban here. Potentially a very big card for Ilban. He's already halfway there for it. He's got the Spice too. Wow. Does Ilban just dagger to... Did he just dagger there? I don't know. It's tempting. You can even dagger to Dreadnought, so you get the tech, you get your Dreadnought, and then because you played Solari, you also still get your card draw. That feels kind of nice. Ilban is at 5 persuasion as well, bear in mind. So he wants to get up to 6 regardless, does Ilban. So him doing this and buying Dreadnought and getting his card draw here might be a very creative way to get to the 6 persuasion so he trashes. I don't know if he'd see it. I don't know if he'd want to do it if he'd see it, but like it's there. And no one's like the Dreadnought could be useful. You might find uses for that along with your troop transports. Like that makes you pretty dangerous. Give yourself like not a bad options for combat here in the next couple of turns. You're in good position. But it's tough to make that call. It's very committing to go Dreadnought. Very committing. I do agree. But it'd be points for creativity and points for boldness. That's for sure. Let's see what happens first, though. Ekaz is going up first. Ekaz is going to selective breeding. He wants to. He obviously needs to get the point here with the Bene Gesserit. You might as well go selective if you can. Always good. He'll trash out like his daggers if he can. He's trashed one out. I imagine the other one will be going here as he's liaison, so he doesn't need to worry about that. Everyone's having a nice look at his deck. There goes the dagger. Gets a couple more draws here. Has 6 to buy here. Ekaz could fluke himself. Oh, Ekaz has 10. Wow. He picks up full scale, though. Wow, wow, wow. If Arakeen is available to Ekaz here, that could be a monstrous draw. Go to Arakeen, get the card draw, buy Spice, get tons of troops into combat here. Loads of options, potentially. It's a little risky. Yeah, Eban's going to go for Shuttle Fleet instead for the bumps in the influence track. Bene Gesserit and... you go Bene Gesserit and Emperor, and that's just 2 points. It picks you up to 6. I think challenging for Fremen is kind of a bit irrelevant here. And I think that's what he's going to do here. Just take him straight up to 6 points. There's nothing wrong with this at all. Puts him in a nice spot. Gives him a little bit of a buffer here. He's going to have a bit of difficulty picking up his next set of points, though. That's the only problem. It gives him also the 6 influence so he can trash. So that's always good. Leto will pick up his Swordmaster now. Surely, I think he might well still be looking at going Hagar Basin, the carry-all. In fact, he hasn't got any influence here. Don't worry about that. But I think carry-all, knowing you've got quid pro quo, looks pretty good, and you get your troops in. You might get a bonus spice potentially. We'll see. 100's going to go to Carfax. That's a coin for Ekaz. Strong arm here for 100. Very nice tech. It's a nice way to kind of ambush for some alliances. I love playing strong arm alongside Conspire because, of course, you can use the troops you get from Conspire to pay for your strong arm. So you're basically getting a double bump for one less troop, which is very, very, very good. So that's a nice tech there to pick up here. There's Welds. You use that to go fold space, and then you just take that alliance. That sounds pretty good. A lot of options here. Ekaz is up next. Ekaz doesn't have any dreadnoughts, so he should use full scale here. I think full scale to out Arakeen is the play. I don't know why you don't do that. You don't get swords for your dreadnoughts. You have none in combat. Oh, he's just gonna pick up the High Council. Oh no, I understand you want to get that in, but I think you just got to use full scale and just get the troops in and go Arakeen. And the odds are you've trashed both your daggers. They're both gone. You've lost Sikh allies. That got used earlier as well, so you're guaranteed still to get the spice. I think that's a little inaccurate from Ekaz there. Would have liked to have seen him do that, but chose not to. You don't even have to commit that heavy. You could just put in one troop and just garrison a load more, or put in a couple. You don't have to commit heavily to this combat here. I think that's a bit of a miss from Ekaz. We'll see how things go. Ilban's going to take assassination mission here. I can't believe he's picked it up this late. That's kind of a bit insane. But he has done so. Spice Hunter now turns up on the deck here. Treachery turns up after the appropriate pickup from Ilban. So Ilban's looking to buy some more techs here. Looking to buy a Holtzman this way. Surely that's the plan here. Or maybe even flagships if that turns up. Hence why he's taken assassination. The intention is to trash this card at some point and take the money along with Shuttle Fleet. That looks to be the play. Gonna need his deck to cooperate with him a little bit here. It's only 12 cards. It's not the biggest in the world, but he's gonna need to pick up some spice from somewhere. Is Ilban, and he's not gonna get potentially a huge amount. He's probably gonna have to go hang a basin or something, and then selective breeding, I guess. Bear in mind, Ilban also still does not have his Swordmaster coming to return 7, so he's going to be struggling for actions here now. He's going to be really in a lot of problems here. Ilban has a lot he wants to do, and not a lot to do it with. Leo's going to use his he's going to use this to go. Ooh, he's going research station. Doesn't use the carrier. Wow. Diplomacy, bounty hunter, and convincing all turn up his hand. At 7 for Leto here. My apologies. I gotta be honest, it's not the cards you want to see at this point. The 7 doesn't do you a lot. It gives you access to treachery. So you're gonna have to pick that up, those probably. Hundro is gonna recall. And he's going back to Carthag. Hey, he wants a piece of this action here. He wants to win. Picks up Dispatch and Envoy. That's a nice card. Always gives you the option. You can make a lot of crazy, funky plays if you've got like agent actions with this. Have a lot of fun there. I kind of like it. So I'm just going to look to try and take this one down, take the spice. And he will do so, because no one else is going to be anywhere near challenging him here. Unless Ekaz decides to get very funky. But Ekaz will be buying the spice here, so he will only get the 1 extra sword. Full Scale Sculpt does nothing. So it'll only take him up to... In fact, he's not even in combat. What am I even talking about? I do apologize. So just the spice there. Interesting to see what Ekaz's first card he draws off the top here, by the way. If it was an influence card or had any persuasion at all, that's pretty big. We're just going to have a little peek here. It was a signet ring. Yeah, I think Ekaz missed the trick there. If you're playing as Paul and you're in that situation, you know your top card doesn't give you influence, fine. But I think that was a miss there for Arakeen. Anyways, we'll move on. So, a total of 7 for Leto. Surely, Treachery is the play for that double bump and putting dudes in, and he does do so. Treachery, very, very powerful card. Exil Compact turns up. It's a little bit late in the game for this now. Getting this up early always feels really nice. Hunter even is going to use his intrigue with the sisters, because he's going to pick up another intrigue for winning, and obviously doesn't want that to be stolen by secrets. He'll win this convincingly. He'll need to put down, obviously, and that's going to be also... No combat is going to be enacted here. He wins, so the Dreadnought will be detonated, courtesy of detonation devices, and picks up a bonus point there. Sorry about that. So that's always good. But it's going to be difficult, I think, for him to get a second use out of this. We'll see. Glimpse the Path is the turn-up for Hundro. Very nice card. Glimpse of Path, although he's got so much war, it's kind of loses a bit of effect. It's just basically a spice for a card draw. That's all it is now, which is a bit expensive. So, never mind. So, we're off into the conflict freeze, and first up is... Oh my goodness me. First up is the Battle for Carthag. The Dreadnought is taken back from last turn. So does not get the troop benefit for having the control of the area. So he's got to fight for it normally. Has Imperial Shock Trooper. If he can find a way to go to Wealth or Conspire, that's a ton of potential pain. But he's going to need to draw some cards. What's the plan here for Ekaz? Is this a trip to research station perhaps? Pay for the water and kind of gamble. You can still get troops in off research station as well, and you're gonna look to try and go and pick up like your diplomacy and pick up your access to wealth and get your power in that way. And then you want to go wealth because you still got to fund Chatham shares. You've still got to pay for that. I think that's the play. Looks like he agrees. Also, you also want to buy spice. You've got High Council now. You made that decision. See what he picks up. It's a big draw, this. Fremen Camp, spice. Oh, Liaison has no access to the Emperor. That's a little unfortunate. That's kind of bad luck for Ekaz here. Ekaz should be looking to get his troops in regardless. He's looking at Signet Ringing. Just going to take space travel because he obviously still needs to get the full space point. Has not made any progress on that yet. Troops will go in. It's going to be difficult to defeat Ekaz here. He's looking pretty good here. Hundro picks up his Gunfopter. So that always feels pretty nice. He needs to find a way to get some more money, though. He needs to pay for his High Council trip. Leto might get in there beforehand anyways. Leto's picked up Shifting Allegiances in his hand here, which is pretty good. Caesar and Mother is in hand as well. He's going to want to try and use that for the reveal effect, I would imagine. Ilban, in the meanwhile, has got a pretty bad hand in that he's got very little access. He doesn't have the actions, so it's not a big deal. But only Signet Ring and Dune available as actions here. So surely this is going to be Interstellars. No one else has gone there. I think you go up and down. You take that. You got 2 transports. You get that stuck in. And then maybe you Signet Ring to the Mentat if it's still there. I don't think it's going to be there by the time you come back. We'll see what the plan is. Doesn't want to spend his money though. Does Ilban? He's keeping his money to probably buy Holtzman with Appropriate later on. Hoping no one else picks it up. Let's see what the plan is here. Yeah, hence why he's taking the money here, because he knows that he wants to pay for Appropriate. So that makes total sense here. Does not commit the troops into the combat. Interesting. Interesting from Ilban. Maybe he's going to hold them in for the next turn when he's got a better hand. Maybe that makes some sense there. I can get behind this. Citra and Mother being played for the action here. It's going to go Selective Breeding. What's he going to trash? He's going to trash Bounty Hunter? He's going to trash the Recon out of his hand. I mean, okay, I guess. I don't know if anyone would have gone there first. We'll see. Picks up the Carriel and the Dagger. That's not what Leo wanted to see, I don't think. I don't think the Carriel was in mind. There's no water. That's kind of a rubbish draw for Leo here. Pretty mediocre at best. That's kind of awkward. He's gonna have to find more ways to make this work here. Keeping on shifting the inches for later on though. Interested to see what he's going to do. Probably drop Fremen and then take like one of the alliances, maybe like Bene Gesserit or Spacing Guild. That sounds pretty good. Hunter's going to glimpse the path, pay for the extra card draw, picks up his Signet Ring. That's pretty big. There's an argument here that says you smuggle with Signet Ring and you take the cash, and then that pays for your High Council. But Leto can and probably will block you. So he's going to go Haga Basin instead. Now, he's going to... Now, what did he do here? Let's see. Hello. Now that's a warning sign. That's a warning sign. Has not put the troop in and left himself with 6 spice. That is a huge warning sign of what's about to happen here. And he has strong arm as well, so he might well strong arm one of the troops he picks up to take the alliance here. If Leo's observant, Leo might get in there first. But does he see it? Does he realize what's about to happen? Surely that's the play from Hundro. It feels like that's what's coming. Ikaz will come up next. Ikaz again with a bit of an icky hand. Has loads of persuasion. Has like 13 persuasion at the moment. Like absolutely tons. Just need to get troops into combat here. I would imagine. You want to pressure Carthag. I'd be worried about Hundro sitting there with 6 spice like that. Not putting the troop in. Not paying for the shipping. That's a clear warning sign that something bad's about to happen here. You gotta know that there's fun incoming. Fremenkamp looks nice to Imperial Basin. Basically, just use it to just deploy 5 troops. But Ikaz is changing his plans here. He's gonna use his liaison instead. Is he still want to go Arakeen? Is he still trying to draw for the Emperor intrigue? He is. He is indeed. That is the play. He's trying to pick up his diplomacy card. It's hard to pick up. He's still got 6 cards in his hand in the draw pile. That's pretty bad odds. 1 out of 6. I don't think he's got any other cards that are any good to him here. Imperial Spy, whoever he already used, and that got used for its intrigue. So that's no longer in his deck here. Just diplomacy. I don't. I mean, you want to pick it up because you want to get the extra strength for the Imperial Shock Trooper here. But if you're going to do that, you must just go Fremenkamp and just use the spice for the troops. Are you really just going to hold that for, like, the sword? And if you're not, then, you know, you get 2 persuasion from liaison anyways. Could go Mentat. A lot of things you could do here. Mentat's not a bad option here, actually. Ikaz rethinking about this. Trying to make the right call. It's hard to know sometimes. It really is. I accept this. But he's going to go to the Siege. Needs to garrison the troop. I'll just do it for him. They hadn't done so. The wards are mandatory. You must take them. Ilban's going to pick up his Swordmaster. Cost him 7 total. Don't know what Ilban makes of all this going on. He's sitting there with the troops. He didn't use them earlier with his troop transport. So they're sitting there. Needs a big card. Picks up Charney. Has access. So does that force Ilban to Hardy Warriors here? I don't see what else he could possibly play. Steel Suits just... Why play Steel Suits at this point? Everyone's got so much water. Especially you. And again, it's water neutral to go Hardy Warriors here. That feels like it's basically forced upon you. You've only got 8 if you reveal. It's not enough for spice, so that's not an option. You can still play it, you get 6, you can trash if you want. Now, it should be noted here, if he does have intentions of buying Holtzman Engine, Holtzman Engine only pays if you have 2 Spice Must Flow cards. It's not how many times you visited this space, it's how many you have in your deck at the end of the game. So he would not be able to trash the Spice Must Flow card. He'd have to trash, like, Dune or something if he wanted, I would imagine. Lido's up next. So, Lido, you can go Imperial Basin and use Shifting Allegiances. You could just about afford it. It gives extra spice to yellow, which you don't really want to do. But as it turns out, would be a massive play because Fremenkamp's just sitting there, and that basically dies if you go to Imperial Basin because you didn't already go there. And if you take the take the Spacing Guild Alliance now, it stops Green getting it. But do you see it? Surely Green's holding up here for the Highliner trip. You can get in there first. Or do you go Mentat? If you go you go Mentat, he takes the Alliance. No, he's gonna do it. Looks like he's gonna... Wow, he's just going to let green take the Spacing Guild Alliance by the looks of it. Wow, interesting. I don't know. I mean, Mintat's obviously super good for Lido there, but I think you got to get in there first. I imagine a dagger's going to be used with dispatching here, and he'll save the Gunfopter. Or you use Gunfopter to do it to kill the garrison troops while you send them off. That actually sounds kind of fun, but I don't think it's that useful here. So use a dagger. You're also going to be probably strong-arming the faction here, so you lose a troop regardless. So I think, yeah, dagger highliner, strong arm one of the troops, take the alliance. That's a point. And you're challenging for Carthag. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. He's going to get in the Dreadnought first, and he's not going to buy spice, because surely he's going highliners. This gives... Oh, he pays for it. Okay, he's not doing it. Spy Satellites turns up. Huge tech here. Enormous tech. So it looks like he's just gonna go city instead there. Okay, then. I would have liked to have seen the Highliner play, seeing as Lido kind of gave up on it. But I suppose you want to get your Dreadnoughts in. You want to win combats that way. But you're going to struggle to win combats without going... you know, you've got detonation devices. You don't have to go for Dreadnought. It's... You know, you've got your 1 point from it, which is good. If you get 2, I mean, that's kind of like above average, really. It's kind of hard to get 2 points from that in a game. Because players will actively stop you from winning combat because they know how dangerous it is. So, you know, Hundro, I don't want to say it's greedy, but this is a little ambitious, this. We'll see what the plan is. He still has actions to go here. Still, Fremenkamp looks pretty nice. But you know that he can't go... you know, obviously he can't go to Thingy anymore, most likely. Yep, here we go, Fremenkamp. So we'll take the spice, which will be paid into troops. I don't know if you deploy anymore here. I think you probably deploy one more. I think you deploy one more. You got strategic push, you got second wave. I mean, you could even hold them all in and say, I've got 11, I think this could be enough. You gotta be careful here. You know, Hunter's got a couple of nasty attack cards. But you have got two techs in hand. But then currently Hunter has 3. You don't know what he's got, so you probably have to commit a little bit more here. It just feels uncomfortable to leave that many. He's going to throw them all in. Wow. It's going to take him to 90. So basically, Ikaz is just locking up the win. This is expensive, though. This is going to cause him problems down the line here. I actually like going Gunfopter now for Hundro. I think it's a much better play, because you can further punish Ikaz for overcommitting by killing his troops inside his garrison. That's going to really hinder him even more in the next round, where you can look to take the next combat and look to be really super dominant. You take the combat, you smash, you detonate your Dreadnought as well. I think that sounds a much nicer play here now. You get him with one trick for sure. But I don't know, we'll see what happens here. Aelbard might be tempted. Again, Hardy Warriors is sitting there. I don't really see what else you do here. And currently you can go Hardy Warriors and look like to have a decent shout at second place here. Pick up the Spice. The Spice will be good. There's no way the Spice won't be good. Can't buy Spy Satellites. It's not able to him. It's gonna go to Carthag instead. Picks up No Their Ways. So picks up the water regardless. Would you believe it? Wow. That's kind of there's some irony in that one. I think you just put in the 1. I don't know. If you can put in 1 or a couple. I think you're going to heavily commit. I don't think Leo's going to get too invested here. So Lido now, his shifting allegiances, he now can't play for. It's out of his hands. There's nothing he can do. Had his chances to go to Imperial Basin and take it, but shunned them. So he's going to go... What do you do? He's going to go to Arakeen for the card draw. Don't know what the plan is here entirely. We'll see. Picks up Desert Ambush. Ken can't do anything with it. That's a dead card in his hand here. Also, kind of surprised that Leto went for the Bounty Hunter there. I would have probably just played the Signet Ring. And then have Bounty Hunter as always a backup in case you draw bad and you just get blocked everywhere. You put in the 1. But yeah, this turn has not worked out at all for OMANT here. I think the chances were there to like really get really creative in this turn and hesitated and then got blocked. And I think he'll regret this. He still doesn't have his Swordmaster, so he's gonna probably have to go with the Signet Ring, I imagine, and just take a chase point, which is not what he wanted. But we're here. Just hesitated that Mentat. It's had a big knock-on effect here. Hundro's up next. Hundro still needs to pay for High Council, but obviously won't be doing it yet. Don't know what to do here. Now he's kind of a weird, funky sort of play. Your cities are blocked, so you can't do those anymore. You're kind of out of options unless you dispatch as an envoy. You want to get perhaps a troop in here. You could dispatch. You could go conspire. You could conspire as an envoy with the Gunfopter. That gets you your money for High Council. It gets you the point with the Emperor. You still take out some troops. Or Great Flat's also acceptable. I guess this is fine. So that'll be a troop loss for the both of them. I didn't see it here again. I'm so not used to seeing everyone have so much water in a game. Like, usually Great Flat's just not just a, oh, I'll just go there instead option. So a couple of troops be lost here. Looks like he's just gonna go for the 1 and hope that Lita doesn't match him, I guess. I think you put it in. I think that extra the free spice is significant. This game could come down to tiebreaks. It's pretty close. Like you got Elban on 6, everyone else is on 5. Tiebreakers are potentially serious here, unless Chalmurky turns up and like Holtzman's there, Spice Satellites is there, Hollow Projects is there. These are all very strong techs. You can expect, especially with Appropriate, Ilban's going to probably buy one of these, if not more. And that way Chalmurky could still turn up anyways, or flagships can turn up. There's a lot of strong potential. We'll see what the plan is here. Ilban's in a funky spot. Like, Spice Atlas is no good to him. He'd be paying 7 spice for a trash, basically. Or 4 Solarian, 3 spice for a trash for the point. Or he has 2 influence of all the factions. I don't mean that's a terrible return, though. He's... Wow. Wow. He's changing his plan here. He's turning down Gunfopter. He's going to reject it. I still like the Conspire play here with Gunfopter. I still like this. It depends if you want to... I think Hondro is getting really consumed with trying to take second place here. And I don't think it's that valuable for this one. First place is so far away. He's considering using Convincing Argument as an envoy to, like, Hardy Warriors. He's trying to do the maths here. That would give him 9 strength on the ground. The dagger would be 10. Gunfopter would be 13. He cannot win this fight if that's what he's trying. There's just no way. Yellow is just completely committed, like, heavily here. You can't win. But I still think Gunfopter to Conspire. You take the point there. You take the troops out. I think that's a nice way to just hurt Akaz a bit more for overcommitting here. It's a nice alternative. If you're that consumed about getting a troop in, then you just dagger it instead or something. People definitely want to he's desperately trying to make sure he makes the right play here. You got Strong Arm as well. Yeah, here we go. He's going to do it with Convincing instead. Here is the Conspire play. Yeah, I thought this is where this was going. This is a good spot here. Thought about it for a long time, did Hundro. Long time, but I think this is the right move in the long run. I don't know if you want a Strong Arm here. Picks up Demand Respect. Ooh, that's a big tech for possibly next turn. No good to him now, but next turn that's pretty significant. Just making sure he picked up enough troops there. I couldn't tell. Yeah, just the 3 there. It's totally fine. And he's gonna... I think that'll do. I mean, you could strong arm here, but I don't think this is the faction of strong arm. You want a strong arm to highline to the Spacing Guild at some point, just take that. And you're going to pretty much be secure. I don't think anyone else is going to challenge for that. Considering strong arm, but this is not the faction for it. So, the turn carries on. Now, bear in mind that everyone now knows you've got Gunfopter. So that's a thing. Ekaz will be able to buy Spice. He has 10, so buys it. Puts Holtzman online for him now if you could find a way to get it. I don't see it happening. Gets a Spice for that as well, and a couple of swords. So, Ekaz is going to get himself to 8 points here. He's gonna trash it. Now, bear in mind, trash cards go back into the reserve. They are not lost to the ether. They are returned back here whenever they are taken out of the game. But by trashing that, he's kind of potentially killing his Holtzman abilities here. I mean, it's not realistic he's going to get there, but still. So, Ilban gets a Spice, has 6 to buy if there's anything that particularly interests. Smuggler's Fopter's there. Like, it's an unbelievably strong card now because of the way that spacing works. Might well go Court Intrigue as well. Obviously has interest in trying to take the Emperor Alliance here. I don't think that'd be a bad pick. You're guaranteed access there. I think that sounds pretty decent. You go before yellow. So if you draw it, you can just automatically go straight down to take that down. Goes for the Liaison instead. Interesting. Going to be on 4 recyclers, the count, so let me just see what he pulls. He wants to get Appropriate ASAP here. Lido with the Signet Ring. Running out of places to send it. I mean, the only place he can go is Tech Negotiation, Smuggling, or High Council. High Council seems to be the play, right? He can't get his... he cannot get Spice this turn, however. He only will have 8. 1, 3, 5, 6. He's... He does end up deciding to go to Smuggling. Which is, I guess that's fine. So, reveal here, obviously the Gunfopter. Interestingly, puts in the troop, not the Dreadnought here. Don't know why you do that. I mean, the Dreadnought just goes back. You don't lose it, but whatever. I'm not getting involved here. It's his choice what he decides to put in. He's counted out for 6. So, his decision. Maybe he's worried about, like... it's possible he might be... Actually, there's a legitimate reason. If he puts in his Dreadnought, there could be cannon turrets, which forces his Dreadnought out of combat, and he just completely loses all access to the rewards here. By putting in the troop, he spends it, but it pretty much guarantees that he's going to get it. So I think that's actually potentially quite a smooth little play. Whether that's the idea or not, I don't know. We shall see. Anyways, that is going to be all for this one. Combat will be decided once there's any choices here. Ekaz has his 9 to buy. Ekaz already done. What am I talking about here? Oh, Lido had not bought. Well, the players are allowing him to buy here, which they're not obligated to do. Probably should say no. You passed. That's all she wrote. But whatever. It's their table. It's their call. So combat is going to resolve here. Ekaz will take Garfang, get himself to 8 points. Free Spice and the Intrigue for green, which is never too bad. And a pretty cheap free Spice for Ilban. He'll take that as well. So plenty of supplies and resources and spice and all sorts coming up, getting ready for the fight for the next round here. Recruitment position pickup for Hundro, not really what he wants. I don't think he's going to be buying spice here, so that's a little unfortunate. Not really a lot of good. He has Sonic Snoopers though, so he might well just trash it out. So it's never too bad. So as I say, Ekaz up to 8. Ekaz in good shape here. Ekaz's got to find another couple of points. Ekaz has still yet to claim the Bene Gesserit and Spacing Guild points here, so the 10 are right there. He needs to get a couple of trips to Fold Space going. He hasn't done that yet, but he did pick up space travel. So he's going to be looking to probably start doing that. Next up is the battle for Arakeen. Now, of course, Yellow had the Dreadnought, so had guaranteed access to all three domination of all three spaces. It gets the spare troop in immediately, so that's kind of nice. Arakeen is up. If Yellow takes this combat, they win the game. Strategic push and second wave. They picked up full-scale assault. Wow, big card. That to like Carthag. It's gonna be monstrous. They still have diplomacy. They can still go well if they got Charum shares. Like, this is a huge draw for Ekaz here. Oh, no way for Ilban to go to the Emperor either. He doesn't find access. That's a problem for him here. There's no way you can, not much you can do about it. So when you do have appropriate, you have it. You feel like you need to kind of use it. Holtzman's there. Holtzman is right there. Do you think you can get a second spice this turn, though? I'd actually argue going to Research Station first here and draw a load of cards and see what you get. I mean, the odds are you're probably getting the point anyways, but if you don't go to Research Station now, someone might race you there. Do you think anyone else is going to pick up Holtzman before you? No one has any spice. I think you can rest easy on the techs here. I think you Research Station first. Research Station can be blocked. I don't think the tech can be, but he's going to get it first. He's going to take the spice here and put himself up to 10, so he's got an absolute ton of spice here. Surely he's going to pay for Holtzman, I would imagine. Or he might be just going for spice satellites and taking the automatic point there. I don't know. Spice satellites could be gotten by someone. Holtzman cannot. He's the only one that can afford that. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's trying to play greedy for both. Just block spice satellites. Maybe that's what he's doing. He can still get up there if no one goes, and that's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing here. He's going greedy. He's going for both. Flagship turns up. Wow, he can pay for that. That's just a straight point. Wow. Ilban. Ilban with the greed on the techs. So he can trash that whenever the heck he wants. Anytime it's his turn, he can trash that. And just take the point. He doesn't have to do it now. Well, he might as well, I guess. It's there. And he will do so. Easiest way to do this is to, it's fine. What we'll do, we'll just shrink it. And put it like that. That's the easiest way to do it. Oh, there's a Spy Satellites card. I forgot there's a Spy Satellites point. I completely forgot that even existed. I'm sorry. Well, Ilban gets 7 regardless. Okay, Leader's up next. So Leader's got Treachery. He's got a lot of options here. He wants to get the spice. I think he's going to go up and down, take the spice, and he's going to look to target selective reading with Treachery. I think that's the plan. I think that's the idea here. I expect him to take the spice, and he does. There we go. I think selective breeding is being eyed up here. Couple of troops. Gets a bump. Surely you take the bump with the Emperor here and take that point. Get him up to 6. Yep, that's exactly what he does. It's all very close here. This game is like... It's been a kind of a weird game, I admit this. It's been a little peculiar. Players have definitely fought hard about what they wanted and what not to do. Yeah, this is the problem for Ilban, and now his research station's blocked. Oh, hello, Steel Bankers. There could be double spice on its way. Maybe. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. You need to find some more. Recruit mission gets him to 8. You could buy... Oh, that's so awkward. The only card that lets you buy High Council is your Guild Bankers. That's really awkward. So that's kind of a pain. I suppose you'll just take the 1 spice here. I think he just wants to win the combat. I think that's the most important thing here. Here comes the wealth trip to take the point. Take that as well to bank up another point here. That's going to get him to 9. Challenges is going to get him to 10 here. So this is going to be the last turn of the game. If no one finds a way to stop him. And how is anyone going to take the alliance here? Leto would have to get some spice to go conspire. And even then, it's like, I don't think he can take it. Oh, he could if he had a load of spice. He could quit pro quo as well and steal the alliance. But he'd need, what, 3 more spice from somewhere? I don't think he can generate it. I don't see any way he can take it. I don't think there is at all. Wow. This is pretty significant. So Ikaz is looking good here to take this game down. Who could catch him? If Moritani wins... Wow, if Moritani wins, remember, he's got Detonation, he gets the Arakeen points, he's got Demand Respect, he could buy Spice. Ton of points available for Moritani here. This game is not over. Ilban, in theory, if he wins, could be in a decent spot here, but I don't think Ilban needs another turn in this one. I don't think he's going to get there. Ilban, I don't think, sees it coming. Lido just has to secure points. This is pretty awkward. If you knew what was about to happen, you would probably treachery to secrets to save the spice. You could quid pro quo the Spacing Guild. Or does he? Oh, does he see it? I wouldn't expect him to. Oh, OMANT sees it. This is very, very good from OMANT. This is a fantastic spot here. Realizing he's got to chase points. Really, really good play here from OMANT. This is fantastic vision. Gets 2 intrigues. To the victor's no good. Favored subject also does nothing for him here. So 2 dead techs here. No good to him. But he sees the quid pro quo play at Spacing Guild to take that down at the same time. So this is a good spot here. Well played from Lido. Nice little pick. Oh, no, hold it back. No, hold on a second. Favorite Subject doesn't do anything. It does do something. It gives him memo quarters. That'd be his 3rd point with the Emperor. Oh, my God, that's his bonus point right there he's just drawn. Wow, that's actually pretty significant. Wow. That's incredible then. That's actually happening. It's going to give him the memo quarters point. I didn't even spot it. Meanwhile, Moritani, if he can win this combat, could have about 6 million victory points before this is all said and done. He's got 7 persuasion in hand. So, you need to get action here. You just need to throw troops in. I think you just go Hardy Warriors, and you get troops in, and then you probably use your Gunflopter as an actual offensive weapon, and you get troops in or something. You just got to get dudes into combat here. You've got to win this. It's going to be difficult, though. There's no way to pick up the free spice. So that's kind of dead to you here. And you'd want the free... You wouldn't want to spend the spice only, so in theory you want to keep on Demand Respect. Which you may or may not want. I mean, you don't have to use it. You could spend the spice and just use Demand Respect to take the point with the Bene Gesserit. There's no faction you're stealing here. And he's going to use supers here. Now, what does he trash? I think he trashed probably the lot. Recruit mission's dead to you. Sure, I don't think it's any use anymore. Demand Respect you could probably get rid of, but you'd probably keep hold to try and pay for his Bene Gesserit point. But I wouldn't blame him for trashing. I think you could go either way on this. He's going to trash. He's going all the way in. Here we go. Secret Forces, Cannon Turrets, Bribery. Whoa, that's a big draw. He doesn't have access to the... He doesn't have access to High Council. That's unfortunate. But Cannon Turrets is a couple of strength. Bribery pays for his Bene Gesserit point. That's a straight point right there. I think he's probably better off. I mean, you could argue whether that's better or worse than what he had. It's probably there or thereabouts, but it could have been so much worse. No endgame cards have been found. We've gone through half the intrigue deck. No one's found any. Hydro has to win. If he wins this combat, he may well have enough to win the game. 2 from combat, 1 for Bene Gesserit, 1 for buying spice. Then it's going to come down to tiebreakers against Ikaz. And who knows who's going to win that? It's very close. Oh, but Ikaz has enough to buy spice. They would take him to 11. Unless he gets greedy. You could go recon to Arakeen, get some more troops in, so you use your combat cards, and you get a reshuffle. And again, your daggers are out. Every card in your deck has some persuasion on it. So it's absolutely free to go Arakeen, and you should definitely do so. He's gonna go, whoa! He's gonna go to, wow! Oh, no, this could be a big mistake here. He's decided to go to the high counter here, but now he can't pay for bribery. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can't get the point with the Bene Gesserit. Ooh. He's doing this to try and cement the victory here. He's got detonation devices, but he had to kind of go all in for all the points and all the marbles. Ooh, this could be bad. So there's the Bene. Oh my gosh! He just goes. What on earth? What's happened here? Oh, he went to. Wait, what? Oh, he hadn't taken the point of Bene Gesserit. Wow, I just completely missed it. He missed it. Everyone missed it. Wow. Oh wow! Imperial Shot Trooper turns up for ECAS here. Oh my god. Wow, that's pretty sick here. I didn't expect ECAS to go selective breeding. That surprised me a little bit. But hey. I think that's what happened there. Ilban's going to pick up flagships. It's a point. Totally understand this. Point to point. So he'll pay for that. Take the flagship point. Takes Ilban up to 8 here. Flagships is that one up there. So that's a point. He's going to be able to trash the assassination mission here. But again, Ilban needed another turn to really get into this. Game's ending 1 too soon for him. Still turn 8. Lido up next. Lido's got his diplomacy. Now, the play here surely is to go fold space. You know it at 10 points. He's going to look at it any way. Whoa, what is he doing? Oh, he's going to go for Mentat first. Yeah, I think this is fine. It's only 5. Whoops, sorry. Only cost the 1. So he's going to draw the card. I mean, picks up Desert Ambush. Wow, some options there. It was automatically go full space and use quid pro quo for the point. Desert Ambush is funky. Desert Ambush gives options here in the basins. Oh, but Gunfopter probably ruins those plans. Core of the market pickup here. No good for Moritani, but there was intrigues available for victors here, and wow, ECAS would happily have taken that. Here comes Secret Forces. So the troops are going to come in here, and Moritani's going to take the point, but he has no money now. And remember, he cannot take money as a reward, even if he got second place, and use that for bribery. It's still a plot card. So this is going to be tight. He's going to get 2 plus 1 plus... he will get the spice as well, so it's going to take him to 10 points. But ECAS is about to soar to the skies here. Free trip to Arakeen. Oh, no, it's not with full-scale assault. Not with full-scale assault. It's not free. Oh, it's going to... Oh, no. He's got 5. Counter gives him 7. He's not gone to there. He's going to lose his spice. Oh, Pulse Roman Camp. That was... What a gamble. Oh, my gosh. Wow, that was an unbelievable little gamble there from ECAS, but it's worked out. Get them in, boy. Get them in. You might well finish this game with like 16 victory points. ECAS might well win this fight still, everyone. It's absurd. I don't know how this is going to work out numbers-wise. I think ECAS might win. It might finish the game with like 16 points. So here comes the flagships. But he cannot deploy them into combat. It only gives you them. You've still got to visit a space to get them in, unfortunately. So he can only pay to sit them in there. And hence he declines. He realizes there's no point. keep the cash. You know, it's a group stage. That might be, you never know. That's a lot of cash. Does not have enough to trash, but it's fine. So that is going to be that for him there. I would probably have used Know Their Ways well, just pick up the water, just to say that you've got it, but whatever. It doesn't make a big deal. Lido here is going to pick up... Now, Lido again has the option here. What do you want to do? I think you have to Diplomacy to fold space here. Use Quid Pro Quo and then Favored Subject, and that's like 2 points. I don't think... Desert Ambush feels kind of nice, but now there's massive commitment. You can't get involved anymore. So here comes Quid Pro Quo. So that will give him the alliance. That takes Lido up to 8. And then Favored Subject will give him an endgame point, taking him to 9. He's not going to be in contention here for the win, unfortunately. He's gonna he will pip Ilban, though. Ilban does not have a 9th point. So Ilban looks like he's going to be, unfortunately, be last place on this one. Lido will get himself to 9. I tell you what, though, 9 might be good enough for second here. If 100 does not win this combat, he might be dead last. He only gets up to 7 with the spice here. He's got 3 points relying on winning this combat. He absolutely must win this. Here comes the reveal. Here comes a load of swords. And Charam shares. That's 6 swords for Ekaz. Ekaz is... He's going to win this combat. It's game over. Wow. And Ekaz has kind of come out of nowhere. He's kind of just trundled and kind of just held on. Built up his deck. And just drew insane here. It's going to be 11 points. He can buy spells for 12. He's going to get 2 more for combat. It's going to be 14 points for Marmond Ekaz. It's a pretty outrageous victory. Oh, he's not picking up his spice. Oh, he might have missed he can buy spice. I mean, it's a tournament. Like, if I was in a friendly game, I'd probably say, you know, you can buy spice, but it's a tournament match. I'm not telling him. Not my problem, everyone. It doesn't matter. The game is over. Ekaz is going to win conclusively here, but after wins, the amount of victory points you pick up over the course of the tournament does matter. Does indeed matter for tiebreakers in the group. So this is all significant here. And here we are. He's saying he should be able to pick up the spice here. They may or may not let him. I don't know. It's their decision. It's not for me to get involved in here. They looks like they're gonna probably allow him to pick up the spice. They are going to let him. Well, that's very sporting if that's the case. I mean, it's awkward because like he's already won the game. But if he hadn't of like, if this was super tight, I don't know. I might say you revealed and decided not to buy. That's on you. Awkward spot. Anyways, that's going to be it here. So, Hundro will play his cannon turrets and think he's going to get he might just get over the line here, but he will not. It's not going to be enough here. So, Armani Kaz is going to win week 2 here with 14 victory points. Very, very well played. It's going to be all she wrote here. Which means that Lido is going to find himself to 2nd place here with 9, adding in memo quarters. Ilban to 8 points. It's going to take 3rd with 8 points with 1,000,000 techs. And Hundro Moritari gonna feel very disappointed in this game, I would imagine. I don't think played necessarily bad, but in any stretch of the imagination. But it's just not going to be here. And it just didn't happen. Maybe a couple of chances that presented themselves that were missed. But ultimately, Ekaz was ready to strike and take what was needed when it came here. So we'll play to Ekaz for sure. Well, howdy everyone. That's quite a tense little game.
Yeah.
Hey Black Shadow, it's Sychry here, yellow player. I'm just, I played so bad. I made so many mistakes. I forgot twice for my passive power and
I mean, it was a weird one. Like, a lot of people took a lot of time, decisions, trying to make sure
Yeah,
you make the right plays.
it took
There's
a long
nothing wrong with that, which
play.
is totally fine. There is no time limit in these games. You know, take as long as you need to.
Because it was so
making sure,
intense.
But it was an interesting watch nonetheless. Very kind of sort of tactical in the end. People just trying to be wary of each other there. You know, sometimes it's not always easy to know what your ultimate plays. I mean, to be fair, you drew like huge this last hand. You drew about everything you really ever wanted in this last hand. It's pretty enormous. So that was pretty nice there, and a nice, I will say, nice see from Leo to pick up the put in your treachery to secrets and seeing the play with quid pro quo for memocorders.
Yeah, I was like, don't forget about this. Just do this.
Yeah, that was a good spot. That I was unsure if you were going to find that or not, but you did.
Yeah,
So
I thought you would probably kind of sit there and say, play this.
Yeah, no, because I was like looking at
It took ages.
and I was like, oh, hold on a second, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, memocorders, because you so rarely get the point from it. It's really difficult to actually get the points. So when you do,
for me playing lead though, I was just super bad at climbing up the tracks. I just didn't have the access. I didn't go shipping enough. It was just the engine didn't kick in. I didn't have enough Fremen from a Fremen deck. I was like,
although to be fair, like Ilban made a point of like got in front of you, and that was always difficult for you there.
I was just crawling with my nails like. Go up the tracks, go up the tracks.
But you found your way to second place, so I guess you can't feel too bad about that.
No, I'm super glad. I'm super glad, and I also did not make use of my shifting allegiances or anything like that.
No,
my whole deck did not work.
There was an interesting point a couple of turns prior where you decided to go Mentat, and you had shifting allegiances to hear. You had like potential steals of this alliance, and I was like, "Oh, it's a little
no, because I thought like maybe I'll draw a card to I wanted to draw something. I don't know what it was, but I was like thinking get the spice or do the mentat or whatever. I'll watch the replay.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's something to learn there.
One's like it's obviously different for me because I can see everything going on. I can kind of see
sure.
Come down. It's hard. It's always harder when you're in the sea. I'll know that I got my group game tomorrow, so.
Great.
So I know
we'll be watching you and go play that. Come on.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, just have a watch along and just have like 20 people in there and just like he's so bad. What's he doing? Why is he commentating? Who brought him along to this?
This is the bad thing. Like in my first tournament, it was our game, and I just made two massive mistakes. I played great until then, and then last turn I made two massive mistakes, and I was just like, everybody was like, "Oh no, he did not play this."
Yeah, it takes a couple of inaccuracies, and it just steamrolls sometimes. But it was a fascinating game. Congrats to all played it. Well done, Sychry, for taking 14 points to the bank. That feels good.
That's solid, man.
Yeah.
How you
Congratulations,
got there,
Sychry.
I'm not too sure you know how you got there, but you did. So, but yeah, it was a fun.
Thank you. I'm not happy about. I'm not happy about my play today, but honestly, it was like my second game of the X expansion, and
amazing, bro.
Yeah,
sorry, sixth game and second on TTS.
Amazing.
So I was a little bit confused in the beginning.
Well, I mean, if you keep printing 14 points a game, you will be fine this tournament.
Yeah,
do fine.
Sure.
That is going to do it for us for this contest. So congratulations to Sychry for the 14 points and OMANT for picking up second place. Of course, still a long way to go in the tournament. We've still got 4 weeks of group stages to go. So there's plenty of room for Teemo and Doom to catch up here. And I can't wait for more games. We've had an amazing tournament so far, and we've got so far to go. Thank you for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you all in the next battle. See you then.